Fast 5 minutes, sitting at the bar, relaxing. Nice glasses of water. I didn't bring anything back from Denver.
I could use something a little bit stronger after this weekend.
Hey-yo.
No tweet for you if this is all we get, water.
Sorry.
Step it up.
They had cookies at our morning show this morning, and they didn't bring me any up in the cave.
What's going on? Yeah, and it's been a while since
No
we've had
love
pizza.
for the sports cave.
We got to get that hooked up. Andre Drummond got some love from Mike Krzyzewski, making the USA basketball team for the upcoming World Cup. I guess, are you surprised, because he didn't really play a lot, that a kid like this makes the team?
I think it was a surprise for a lot of people because when you're thinking about the 12 best players or that kind of level, you don't really think Andre Drummond. But you know what? He's developing. They obviously put him in that spot where he could prove himself, and he did it. I think it's a great thing for him, his confidence. And you know what? It's for the first time in a while. It's something positive about a Detroit Piston.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised just from this standpoint. They already had DeMarcus Cousins. They've had Miles Plumlee, and he was playing a lot more in this type of exhibition season more than Drummond. And I thought because of the international competition, they might go with some of the outside shooters like a Kyle Korver, like a Gordon Hayward. Obviously, those guys cut. I was surprised that Damian Lillard got cut, but good for Andre Drummond, and it's a really good marketing tool for the Pistons.
They're seeing what they're seeing is right on the court. You know, practice. I mean, Krzyzewski's not going to make it move just out of the goodness of his heart. So I think that's what's a great sign is what you see in games and what you see in that practice is different.
Even with Paul George going down, the question of is it a good thing and is it a bad thing? I think for Drummond in this case to be in this setting, great thing.
Yeah, I agree.
The Kevin Love trade has finally gone through, approved by the NBA yesterday. Now that Wiggins has finally been approved to move after his 30-day contract deadline had been expired, I guess.
Yeah.
Are the Cavs ultimately the favorites in this league?
There's no question. I mean, they give up Andrew Wiggins, who's a good player, but Dan, you and I have seen him play at Kansas. We don't know how good he's going to be. Anthony Bennett, the #1 overall pick out of UNLV a year ago, was a bit of a disappointment, but you don't want to give up on him. And a future first-round draft pick, the here and the now with LeBron James and Kevin Love, and you've got still Deion Waiters, you've got Tristan Thompson, and you've got Kyrie Irving. What a marvelous move by the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a deal that people should be writing about for a long time. This team is so good right now. They are easily the best team in the Eastern Conference.
I think it's a great move. I like Andrew Wiggins. I think they're gonna lose something with Andrew Wiggins, but we'll see. He's a tremendous athlete who has to learn how to play more basketball. Down the line, that trade, yeah, you're going to say, boy, I wish we had him. But Bennett did nothing last year. Here's what I like. This is who LeBron wanted. LeBron in Miami made moves. He scouted players and said, this is the guy I need. I need Ray Allen. I need Shane Battier. I need Bosch, not Amari Stoudemire. He knows what fits with him. He wanted Kevin Love. He's confident with it.
Double guy. I mean, Kevin Love. See, he's
Step
in
out and
Minnesota.
hit.
He's never played in the playoffs. We don't really appreciate how good he is. He is an
now.
absolute baller.
We will now. Speaking of balling, Jimmy Graham likes to ball out and dunk the football through the field goal posts.
Likes to dole out $30,000 too.
Yeah, that's right. Mike's telling me that topic's next. I skipped ahead. Monet Davis is next. She's a fantastic pitcher. Let's put the ball down. We don't have any baseball props. Sorry, Mike. I got it wrong.
No tweet.
No tweet for me. There's a baseball. Thank you. Monet Davis has been a Sports Illustrated
Monet
cover
would have
girl.
thrown it harder.
She would have thrown it much harder. My hand would have been
He
hurting.
would have swung and missed.
How impressed have you been? And what has she done for baseball? Being on the cover, doing what she did for her team, advancing as far as they did.
She was just exciting. You know, it was her game on I think it was Thursday night or Wednesday night, highest rated baseball game on ESPN since 2007. Any baseball game. Major leagues, Yankees, Red Sox, doesn't matter. People love Monet. We did, and my daughters watched it. They were excited. We don't watch a lot of baseball, so she was great. The way she carried herself, the whole thing, superstar turn for the Little League World Series, which gets bigger and bigger every year.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you know, young girls are looking for some sports role models too, and it doesn't always have to be an adult. It can be somebody who is their peer.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at the WNBA and you don't want to watch that, if you're looking for women's soccer and you can't find it, this was a really good way to do that, and I think a lot of young ladies were inspired.
That's the argument I always make when you see a female or anyone doing something in an area that they're not used to doing. If there's one girl out there, I always say this, that's watching and saying, well, I can do that because Monet's doing it.
Right.
That's a win.
Sure.
Or I can do anything, whatever.
Anything,
Yeah, they don't have to get into baseball. It's just a cool story.
Absolutely. You know what's next? You know what you're talking
Jimmy
about
Graham?
next? Jimmy Graham.
Right. I can read your mind, man.
Jimmy Graham likes dunking footballs, gets fined $30,000 for it. Calvin Johnson says, I don't want Roger Goodell reaching in my pocket. Here comes the no fun league argument again, Matt. Do you buy it?
No, I don't buy it. I mean, I'm all for celebrations, but at some point it gets to be a little much. I don't think this is a big deal. I don't think dunking it over the goalpost is a big deal, but it is a rule now, and Jimmy Graham decided to do it not once but twice. Sean Payton was upset too. If Sean Payton's mad, and I get why he would be, then maybe we should look at it and say, Jimmy, grow up. This guy's kind of a, I mean, we'll talk about Johnny Manziel a little bit later on. He knew he shouldn't have done something. Jimmy Graham has been in this league for a while. He knew it was against the NFL rules, yet he did it anyway. How stupid is that? He's just trying to throw something in Roger Goodell's face. Now they fine him for it.
Dude, if I could, I would.
Dunk it, yeah.
But should he?
If I could dunk it over the goalpost, I'd pay the fine.
I'd pay to see that.
I'd rather see the celebrations, but I get it. It gets out of hand if all of a sudden after every single touchdown, there's some wild celebration like it's the World Cup goals, which are at least rare. It just gets out of control. It's one thing in the World Cup, you all dance, you do your thing. Football, you gotta grain it in. So they go hard line on this.
I'll take the World Cup argument there. I'm all a fan of the dunking, but that might have swayed me the other way a little bit.
5-6 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, right. That's right.
It's very true. Well,
Right. What if you're down by 24 and you're doing it? Then it just ticks off fans.
now you got ahead of the game talking about Johnny Manziel, but that is our next topic here because, Dan, you were at the game the other night. The middle finger flying in the air at the Washington Redskins. What was it like talking to Johnny after the game about that? And is he everything we expect him to be, the immaturity, the football player? What stands out more?
Johnny said a couple of the right things, but you can tell he did not care at all that he flipped off the Washington Redskins bench. He's just a guy in the emotion of the game. That's what he's going to do. Now, in fairness, they're yelling all sorts of outrageous things at him, and that's not a finable offense. But if you react with a gesture, which really is, I wouldn't even call it sophomoric because it's not fair to sophomores. But who cares? I mean, really, who cares? Johnny doesn't care. I don't care. Johnny needs to throw the ball better, not worry about throwing middle fingers. That's the key.
Here's the bottom line. Here's the perception that he gives to people. He's a punk. Now, whether that's the case or not, I don't know. But that's what they see him as a spoiled brat. If he's going to flip off Washington because of some of the things they said on the sideline, I find it very hard to believe he hasn't, A, heard that already, either in a bar, frat party, or on the football field. And B, when he's at the bottom of the pile after running for a first down, he's going to hear it and feel it a lot worse. He's got to grow up.
Johnny likes poking the bear, and there are a lot of bears in the NFL, so they're going to get him. They're after him.
The perception that he's a punk, that's held by a lot of people.
Michael Sam did the thing last night to him. Everyone's doing it to him.
He hit him. I'll tell you what, though, when he flipped him off, he gained a lot of fans that are in the younger generation. I'm sitting with my brother. He watches it. He's telling his friends, you see what Johnny did tonight? Man, I love that guy. You got to fight, but the bottom line. But
I needed to call him that night, so I love him. Yeah, he's great.
He won't
Great
love
for
him if
me.
he doesn't win.
that's true. Coming up next.